You're watching Newsday TV. Thanks for joining us. I'm Ken Bufa. Repair work on one of the East River train tunnels is set to begin tomorrow. There will be one less tunnel across the East River for at least 2.5 years. Governor Kathy Hochul says Amtrak has agreed to put on extra crews to ease the impact on commuters. The work is needed to repair damage caused by Superstorm Sandy. And security is being increased on Long Island following the deadly shootings of 2 Israeli embassy workers in Washington, D.C. One of those places that'll see tighter security, the Holocaust Memorial and Tolerance Center in Glen Cove.
We have a lot of security protocols in place here always because of the nature of who we are and what our center stands for. And with the rise in anti-Semitism today, we are constantly reviewing and changing our security protocols.
Nassau and Suffolk police say they are increasing patrols near houses of worships and other religious institutions. And forecasters are predicting a busier than normal Atlantic hurricane season. The National Oceanic and Atmospheric Administration is predicting 19 named storms. This includes 10 hurricanes and 5 major hurricanes. The typical hurricane season averages 14 named storms. Hurricane season lasts from June 1st to November 30th. And Nassau officials are reminding residents about the importance of Memorial Day.
It's not about the barbecues, about thanking the veterans for their service and for thanking them for helping our country move along.
On Monday, sirens will ring at 12 noon and 6 p.m. for moments of silence. Throughout the weekend, there will be the 4-leaf air show at Jones Beach and a Fleet Week celebration at Eisenhower Park. She was the granddaughter of slaves and a pioneer in the United States Army. Virginia Huey has a story you'll see only in Newsday.
As a young girl, Nancy Lieutenant Colon dreamed of being a nurse and serving her country, despite obstacles that made both goals challenging for a young black woman in the 1940s.
She never mentioned the obstacles. You have to do what you have to do was her favorite word.
Her nephew, Christopher Lieutenant, remembers his Aunt Nancy's quiet resolve and determination.
Determined is not the word for it. She didn't know what no meant.
Born in Goose Creek, South Carolina in 1920, Lieutenant Colon was one of 12 children and a granddaughter of freed slaves. Her family moved into this house on Washington Avenue in Amityville when she was 3. In 1939, she graduated from Amityville Memorial High School and pursued her goal of being an Army nurse.
She worked as a domestic servant for people until she got enough money to go to Lincoln School of Nursing, which was the only school in the country that accepted black women into the nursing field.
She attempted to enlist in the armed forces, but was informed that the military was not accepting African American nurses.
Imagine she graduated from Lincoln in 1941, and she tried to get in the service, and they told her no black nurses. What?
Lieutenant Colon persevered. She volunteered to serve as an Army reservist. In 1948, after President Harry Truman ordered the military to be desegregated, Lieutenant Colon realized her dream, becoming the first black nurse to be commissioned and integrated into the Army Nurse Corps. She later transferred to the Air Force and traveled the world as a flight nurse during the Korean and Vietnam Wars.
And at the time she was in the service, black folks didn't get ranked, but she got up to be a major.
Even as a military officer, Lieutenant Colon faced discrimination, barred from accessing certain restrooms and restaurants because of the color of her skin.
She never complained. She just went on about her business, doing her job.
After retiring from military service in 1965, she returned to her hometown to work as a nurse here at Amityville Memorial High School. The library now bears her name in her honor.
Everybody talks about her legacy as military and a nurse, but I think her biggest legacy was when she was the school nurse at Amityville. Excuse me. all the kids that she helped with their self-esteem, getting their hair combed. That was her biggest pride.
The trailblazing nurse passed away on January 8th at the age of 104. Her remarkable life is a testament to the power of perseverance in transforming institutions and inspiring future generations. For Newsday TV, I'm Virginia Huey.
And to see more exclusive stories just like this one, go to Newsday.com, click Get More, pull the Newsday TV video box. All right, switching gears now. Ticket prices for Game 2 of the Knicks-Pacers game are still high despite the New York team's overtime loss to the Pacers. It was a heartbreaker. Now, as of Thursday, the lowest price for the Madison Square Garden Friday night game was $654. Seats in a VIP section, though, will run you more than $45,000. In Indianapolis, the lowest price for Game 3 tickets was $341. All right, the Knicks blew a 17-point fourth quarter lead. We don't want to talk about it, but we have to, dropping Game 1 to the Pacers. So here's Jamie Stewart to talk about what's next.
The Knicks' first conference finals game in a quarter century will be talked about for decades. 30 years after Reggie Miller's 8 points in 9 seconds broke the Knicks' playoff hearts, Tyrese Halliburton's bouncing jumper at the buzzer forced overtime in Game 1, and the Knicks were stunned in OT, 138-135. It's a game in which the Knicks led by 14 points with under 3 minutes to play.
Obviously, it's not a good feeling, but a lot of basketball left to be played, so we can't sulk. We just got to get better.
A lot of emotional highs and lows in the playoffs. You got to bounce back quickly. You look at the film, make your corrections, get ready for Game 2.
It was an absolute stunner of a game in which the Knicks led for most of the way, but then blew it in the end. If you think about it, it's the exact opposite of how the Celtics series went. Here's Newsday's Steve Popper.
They are now on the other side of it, trying to figure out a way to recover from just a devastating loss, a historic loss. Nobody loses games when you're down 9 in the final minute in the playoffs. It's never happened before. So the Knicks have one day off here to try and recover, to try and figure out what went wrong, how they blew that game after dominating it in the fourth quarter. This is one day and then back to Madison Square Garden to try and recover and find their way back to this.
In NBA history, teams up 14 or more points in the final 250 of a playoff fourth quarter or overtime were 977-0 until the Knicks loss. Game 2, Friday night at the Garden. For Newsday TV, I'm Jamie Stewart.
All right, here's what's up on Long Island. Check out the four-leaf air show at Jones Beach. The United States Air Force Thunderbirds are the stars of this weekend. And volunteers are needed to place American flags on veterans' graves. The event is Saturday at Long Island National Cemetery in Farmingdale and at Calverton National Cemetery in Calverton. It's also opening weekend at Split Splash. There's fun for kids of all ages in a new kids' water playground. The park opens Saturday in Calverton. All right, Bordy Barns Sundays are making a comeback. Blue Point Brewing Company will be serving up beer, hot dogs, and of course, those smiley face stickers. The event will pop up on 4 Sundays throughout the summer. The first one will be this Sunday in Patchogue. All right, let's take a closer look at your 7-day forecast, shall we? It's going to be a beautiful weekend. We just have to get there. As you can see right here, Friday we do have some showers tomorrow, but we will move out of that into a beautiful weekend for Saturday and Sunday. We'll pull that up for you so you can see your Memorial Day forecast. Look at this. Saturday 65, Sunday 69, and Monday, the holiday, we're in the 70s.
Long Island weather is brought to you by Fire Island Ferries. Only in Newsday, there are over 50,000 unlicensed drivers on Long Island who are more likely to be involved in deadly crashes. What can be done to keep you safe? Dangerous roads, unlicensed drivers, now available at Newsday.com.
You're watching Newsday TV. For more on all the stories you've seen here today, head over to Newsday.com. I'm Ken Buffa. Thank you so much for joining us.